And action. Thank you so much for reporting to duty for the Pretty Princess Command Center episode 43, aka a Princess Diary entry episode, which you guys know we love them. We love them so much. We get to get comfy. We get to get cozy. We get to have a little bevy, which my bevy of choice for the episode, this is, I put 2 tea bags together. So I have a spearmint one and I have a chamomile lavender one, which I've had chamomile tea. I don't think I've ever had lavender tea. I think I've had teas with lavender in it, like a sleepy time tea. It smells very good though, but I just needed some tea. Like I just need some relaxing vibes because I've just been on go mode, 110% energy at all times, and I just need to relax a minute. Oh, it's delicious. This is lovely. Obviously, I put honey in there. Obviously. My mom drinks tea without honey, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Tea without honey or sweetener of some sort in it is literally the equivalent of drinking like seltzer water. I hate seltzer water. I could do tonic water because that has sugar in it. Seltzer waters are just pointless to me. I don't get it. Anyway, before we get into the diary, if you want to become an official Pretty Princess and join the Command Center, all you have to do is subscribe. And if you want to make your very own diary entry, all you have to do is go to the Google form link that's always in the description of all these episodes, and it's also always in my bio, and just submit it. Just submit it. I don't know who you are. I don't know your name. I don't know your age. I don't know your email address. I don't know anything about you except for what you choose to tell me. But honestly, these episodes are always a lot more fun when there's a lot more detail in the dilemma that you tell us or anything like that. So, with that being said, get your bevy, get your snack if you want. Can't make it do anything because it's time to open the diary. Princess Diary entry number 1 of the episode says, need some advice on how to reframe my job hunting mentally. No emotional energy for it right now while trying to combat everything else life keeps throwing at me. Positivity / looking to keep myself busy is my go-to, but I need some new perspective. Okay. So you're job hunting and you're just exhausted of job hunting, and you're probably exhausted of going on interviews and not getting a call back or telling, oh, I'm sorry, we moved in a different direction. Like, yeah, that's draining, that's exhausting, but also think of it like you have a whole window of opportunity to just do random shit that you've never done before. And obviously, yes, there are factors that come into play. It's like, okay, well, your budget's probably a little bit tighter right now because you don't have a job and there's no income coming in. But also, you have time right now. Like, yes, you're job hunting, but also, like, you have this time to completely do something that you never really thought you would do, or go get a job that's gonna pay the bills, and like maybe you'll fall in love with it. Like, I feel like I've used this example before, probably in one way, shape, or form, but I know somebody that literally left their corporate job to go back to being a cart girl on a golf course because they were like, I enjoyed being a cart girl on a golf course more than I enjoyed my corporate life, and I make more money being a cart girl on a golf course than having a corporate job. And like, and that person had no desire to like climb the corporate ladder, so really like where they were in their job was where they wanted to stay. Like, they weren't trying to get to the COO position, whatever, stuff like that. But like, look at it as an opportunity to explore new paths that you really thought were closed off to you. And I'm not saying you're gonna want to do something like that, and obviously I don't know what kind of job you're looking for or anything, but like, you have this window of opportunity to go get jobs that maybe they aren't your ideal job, but maybe it'll help you make a connection somewhere and help you meet somebody that's like, oh, well, I know such and such and so, and I could get you set up with an interview here. Like, you bump into someone at somewhere and you say, oh, well, I work at this place right now doing XYZ job, and they're like, oh my gosh, no way, like, I used to know so-and-so that worked there, and now they do this. You know, you never know what doors are gonna be open. Like, yeah, you have no emotional energy for it because, like, you've been trying and you just keep getting no's. You keep getting no's. But also, like, reframe the try. Like, I had a friend that she was just looking for another job, and the only thing she was doing was she was just scrolling on Indeed and waiting for something to pop up. And I was like, a lot of companies, like, don't necessarily put that they're hiring on Indeed unless they really need it. Like, a lot of companies could really benefit from somebody getting hired and somebody else working there, but they're not going to promote it. So, like, take this as a time for you to, you know, like, I feel like I sound like a grandma being like, oh, well, like, get all dressed up and go into the job and hand them your resume. But, like, honestly, do that. Like, it makes so much more of a difference than just the influx of emails in the inbox, and the company inbox is, oh, such and such applied to your Indeed employment opportunity, such and such replied to you. Like, it looks the same. So if you actually go in somewhere and you actually, give them your resume, in literally anywhere, like, set up an appointment. If you're trying to work at a law firm, call the law firm, talk to the assistant, see if you could set up a interview. And even you can honestly be a little bit sly with stuff like that. Like, if you're trying to get in and make an impression on, I hesitate to say, like, more important jobs, because obviously every job is important, but like more, professional in a corporate sense type of job. Let's go with the law firm example. A lot of times, like, being kind of like sly will pay off, and not shifty and not manipulative, but just sly. Like, if you call the office and you talk to the receptionist on the phone, yeah, I'd love to set up a meeting. I need, like, you could word it in a way that it's not lying, right? But it's kind of manipulating what you're actually going to be there for. So you could do it in a way that's, hey, yeah, I'm in need of an attorney. Like, I'm in need of an attorney's office, and I really need to speak to somebody. It's about employment. Like, I have a case about employment to settle. Something like that. I don't know the correct verbiage, but like, a case about employment to settle. The case is the fact that you need a fucking job and it needs to be settled. And like, if it could get you in the door, or like literally just show up every, you know what I mean? Like, you just have grit, I guess, with certain things. And just kind of turn it into a game. Like, whenever I'm feeling just shit about something and I have no emotional energy for it, and I just really don't want to do it, I just turn it into a game. I literally just mentally, I'm like, okay, this is the last part of level XYZ in the game that I'm playing, and all I have to do is just do this, and then I get to unlock the next level, and I can go to bed at night knowing that tomorrow morning I get to be on a whole new level. You know what I mean? Also, I don't really like the term, like, combat everything life's throwing at you. Like, life's not throwing shit at you. Life is just life. You are just existing in life, and situations are happening in your life. And, like, I get it. Things get exhausting. I get it. Things get tiring, and you just want to fucking throw your hands up in the air and be like, oh my gosh, why did I ever want to grow up? Like, I want to be a kid again. I don't want to have to worry about this shit. But, like, if you can just reframe your autopilot mindset, and the only way you can reframe a mindset and turn it into a new autopilot is by repetition, because the only reason you have the current mindsets you have is because of repetition, because you've been conditioned by your parents, by your peers, by society, by XYZ to believe a certain way, to have a mindset about a certain way. Okay? Think about super, super rich, like, Nepo babies, right? They don't realize when they say something that sounds very rude, because they've grown up not thinking that's something rude to say. When somebody just kind of says something, it's like, oh, like, you probably shouldn't say that to people, like, it's really rude. They're like, wait, why? Like, I don't understand why it's rude. And you have to explain it to them. Or like stacking plates at a restaurant. Like, I always stack plates at a restaurant, and I was with somebody once, and I started, like, stacking the plate, and they're like, why are you doing that? Like, that's their job. And I was like, yes, it's their job, but this makes their job easier, so why would I not do it? It's literally not, like, hurting me at all. Right? And it's just like, they had never worked in a restaurant, so they're not gonna think, oh, this will make their life easier. You know what I mean? It's just like little things like that. So anyway, what I'm saying, repetition. Everything happens for my greater good. Everything happens for my greater good. Also, what would the girl of my dreams do right now? I sound like a broken record when I say both of those things, but it's so true. Literally asking yourself, what would the girl of my dreams do right now, will actually change your life. Because if you just decide what she would do and you do what she would do, you're gonna start living her life. You are. Like, okay, the girl of my dreams doesn't have a job right now and she really wants XYZ job. What would she do? How would she get it? Figure it out and go. You know what I mean? If you prove to yourself that you're not willing to settle, life will continue to open doors for you until you find the one that you want to walk through. But if you always prove to yourself, well, I'm willing to settle for the first thing that comes across my lap, life's not going to worry about unlocking other doors, because they're like, oh, well, Sherry went through that door, so like, whatever. We'll give these doors to someone else. Okay? And I know, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Imagine a room full of doors, like in Monsters, Inc., all the doors. Imagine a room full of 100 doors. and you go to every single one of them and you have to see if they open, and it's like, oh my gosh, and it spans like 5 miles. That's a lot of doors. That's a lot of miles. If you went through the first one that opened and you didn't love how it looked inside, but you chose it anyway just because, well, I don't really have any more energy to look at any of the other doors, and this will do for now. I'm just so tired and exhausted. I'll just go through this one for now. You're settling. The universe had, like, life had so many other doors for you to open, but you decided to go through the first one, and that's reaffirming to your mind, your subconscious mind, I settle for the things that I have in life. The things that I have in life aren't what I truly want. They're just what I can get because that's all I deserve. No, none of that. Princess Diary entry number 2 says, if your plan doesn't work out, how do you get back up? How do you even think of a plan B? So actually, this is really funny because I don't necessarily believe in always having a plan B. Obviously, I believe in being smart and being realistic and being logical and not being stupid and not literally blowing all your money on the hopes that something that you don't even know if it'll work will work. But I do fully believe in, if you have a plan A that you have so much faith in, you can make it work. And you might have to stumble and you might have to start dabbling into plan B a little bit. But if you truly believe that your plan A is how the fuck it's gonna get done and it's gonna work out and it's gonna happen, you don't need to have a plan B. Because having a plan B just gives you the opportunity to be like, well, I don't have to get it done. I don't have to do it because I have something to fall back on. It's a safety net. But it's a safety net that's not going to make you as happy as plan A, right? Which, yes, it'll catch you. It'll make sure that you don't fall, but you would have really loved to just keep flying. I actually had this conversation. It was really funny with my ex's grandma. The first time I met her, she was like, oh, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I do social media. And she was like, right, so what are you going to do when that doesn't work out? And I was like, oh, I actually don't believe in having plan Bs because I have a lot of faith in myself that this will work out. And that was one of the, like, literally the first conversation I had with her. And I remember, like, 4 years later, I made a joke about it. Not like a mean joke or anything. And I was just like, I'm really happy I didn't have a plan B to fall back on because look, it worked. And she laughed and we laughed. Anyway, it was just a cute little story. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you, like, my plan A worked exactly how I planned it out and exactly how I envisioned it. Like, no, like, this shit, like, it takes grit, it takes discipline, it takes determination, it takes consistency, okay? Like, I started taking social media seriously in 2022. I want to say 2022. Yes, 2022, okay? Started taking it seriously only on TikTok. I didn't really take YouTube seriously. I didn't have a podcast at the time. I didn't really post on Instagram all that much. Really just TikTok. And obviously that was a really good time to get in because that's when a lot of people were like, wait, what is this? What is this? And people were blowing up. But even 2022 was late to the game. Like, I remember having TikTok in 2019 and just scrolling on it and thinking it was funny. So posting on it starting in 2022, like, that was like being quote unquote late to the game. But obviously that's just like proof that, okay, like, no, there's no such thing as late to the game because, like, hello, you could go do whatever you want whenever you want. Like, job, you know what I mean? Anyway, and like, how long has YouTube been around for? You know what I mean? And I always knew, like, out of high school, I was like, no, like, I want to do social media for a living. Like, I want to do social media for a living. And I always have the, like, little inklings of, like, no, like, I want to go into law. I want to go into law enforcement. I want to go into, like, criminology, FBI, stuff like that. Or, like, even psychology. But I'm like, no, like, I really want to do social media. Like, I just know I can do so much with social media. And I really appreciate the freedom that can come with it. At the end of the day, like, is it a 24/7 job? Yes, it's not a 9 to 5. I don't clock out of it and stop thinking about it. But, like, I love it. I love it so much. I've had months where I'm like, holy shit, like, I did it. I made it. I remember the first time I hit 500,000 followers on TikTok. I was like, yes, like, this is I made it moment. Like, I'll be at 1 million followers in no time. And I was like, yeah, I made this amount of money. That was awesome. That was great. Like, it's just going to keep going up from there. Nope, guess what? Lost over 150,000 followers, was literally making, like, no money anymore. I was like, where the fuck did the money go? Like, all this stuff. And sure, did I get another job and work a lot more at the other job than I did at social media? Yeah, because I had fucking shit to pay for. But I didn't give up on plan A. I paused it and I said, all right, plan A needs to be workshopped, but no way in hell is there a plan B to go to. You know what I mean? But if you do want to make a plan B, just think about like why you're making a plan B and think about like realistically. Like honestly, I guess I do have a plan B kind of. If somebody came up to me today and was like, you can never ever ever do social media ever again, like this is not something that you could do for a living, what are you going to do about it? I would go back to school, and I don't think I would go into law, like legal law. Well, obviously legal law. But like I'm talking like attorney. Like I don't think I would do like lawyer law. But also now I have like a digital footprint, so I really probably couldn't do like FBI, couldn't be like a homicide detective either. I don't know quite how that works. Also I've thought about being a therapist. I think I would enjoy being a therapist, but also I feel like I would also not enjoy it because I'm very empathetic about things, and I feel like that would just weigh me down like a lot. I don't really know, but those are like my like sprinkly plan Bs that are like, oh, I guess like if I gotta go, like I guess I can go. But oh, also, there's always plan B. You could always be a flight attendant. You could always be a flight attendant. And that is not, like, shady to flight attendants, okay? I love all my flight attendant friends. Like, I personally think I would hate it because I don't even like being on planes that much. I like being in airports more than I like being on planes. I'm not scared of flying. They're so uncomfortable. They're so uncomfortable, and we are not yet in the task bracket where I can guarantee that I'm going to be in first class every single fucking flight I take, okay? We'll get there. We're not there yet. But you know what I mean? There's always just like little things like that. It's like, oh, you could always like, oh, there's just so many like little things, you know? And also like, just, if it stresses you out to not have a plan B though, like make a plan B, like sit down and actually make it. And it doesn't have to be made in the sense of like, oh, this is the lesser than option. Like, no, like make them equally as appealing. Just plan A is obviously the one you prefer, but you're not going to be upset. Plan B has to kick into action. Third and final Princess Diary of the episode says, hey love, so I'm mostly straddling between talking. This one is a little bit confusing to me just because of the way that it's written, so bear with me, okay? This says, hey love, so I'm mostly straddling between talking and accepting people's patterns or just letting them go in a platonic relationship. On one hand, I feel like probably God wants me to be here. On the second hand, I can't take their sporadic actions. I kind of feel like I should accept people, but then I think I can't tolerate their not so great efforts. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that you're stuck between, okay, should I talk? I'm confused just about the talking part. I think you're just like, okay, should I just accept these people's traits and patterns, or should I just let them go? Like, not let the patterns go, but like let the person go. On the one hand, I feel like probably God wants me to be here, and the second, I can't take their sporadic actions. Okay, so I don't think that you should ever feel like guilty for choosing yourself when the only other option is to put yourself in a worse position just to benefit someone else. You shouldn't have to do that. In relationships and friendships and whatever that are healthy and that are thriving, you shouldn't have to sacrifice your own success for their success. You should be able to lift each other up at the same time. You should be able to hold hands while you're on your path and go forward at the same time. You shouldn't have to say, okay, well, I'll stand down here while I lift you up, and then wait for them to come pull you up, and they don't because, well, they're up there now, and they don't really need you to be up there. Even if they do pull you up after, like, it shouldn't feel like that, you know what I mean? And I don't really love the fact that it's like, oh, well, I feel like God wants me to be here, because honestly, that's kind of a great way to feel like very guilt-tripped. You can be there for a person without giving them direct access to you. You could pray for this person. You could pray like, oh, hey, like, just put this on their heart. Like, God, please, I pray that, you help them through the things that they don't talk to people about, and you help this, and this. But also, like, I feel like a lot of times in relationships that you're not quite sure about, it's very easy to turn to God or to whoever you believe in, the universe, whatever, and ask for a sign and think, well, no, this is the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to help them, and the right thing to do is to stay, even though that it kind of really hurts me. No, it's not. It's not always the right thing to do. Because, like, you can't pour from an empty cup. And if being around this person and being around this energy and whatever these little habits are that are just really grinding your gears, obviously they're weighing on you very heavy, and obviously it's draining you, and you're staying trying to, you know, still like be okay with them and having them in your life, but like it's weighing on you a lot and you cannot pour from an empty cup. And they are not helping you fill your cup. So not only are you filling your own cup, you're filling this person's cup, but they're draining. Like, you fill their cup and they poke holes in it. And you're like, well, why the fuck would you do that? Like, I don't want to keep filling your cup. Stop poking holes in it. But clearly, if that's a habit and that's a personality trait that they have, and you view it as something that's poking holes in a cup that you just filled, that's not somebody that's compatible in your life. Like, you shouldn't have to be... Like, I feel like if you're asking for signs about people in your life, that is the sign. Anytime I have ever asked God, like, please give me a sign if they should stay in my life or if they should leave my life, I've always gotten the sign. I've always gotten the sign, and I've always ignored it. Literally with my ex, I remember, like, probably, like, 8 months before we even broke up, which, I literally was like, okay, God, like, show me a purple card today if I should break up with him. When I tell you, not even 20 minutes later, purple car pulls into the parking lot, right, like, I was sitting at my pink collar job, my little tanning salon job, and you could see right out the window, purple car pulls out. I did a double take. I was like, no fucking way that's a purple car right now. No way that's a purple car. How often do you see purple cars? If I had said, show me a black car, sure, okay, obviously I'm gonna see one. Purple car, and I saw it, and I said, nah. If you're asking for a sign, you know what's gonna happen. If you're asking for a sign, you know what you need to do. And I'm not necessarily, obviously you're not asking for a sign, you're just asking for advice, but like, you asking for advice is kind of like, you're asking for a sign. Like, I feel like you're asking to be validated, and you're hoping that you could still feel like a good person even if you decide to just, you know, let them go, cut off the friendship, the relationship, whatever. It's okay. It's okay to outgrow people. It's okay to not be comfortable around people that you were once comfortable around. Like, it's okay. And I don't want you to feel guilty for it, because that's just life. People outgrow you. Like, people have outgrown you. You've outgrown people. People have outgrown me. I've outgrown people. It's just life. It's not personal. It's just an incompatibility of personalities. It doesn't make one person better than the other or vice versa. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So I think that officially concludes episode 43. Is this episode 43? I've been really bad at keeping track of the episode numbers recently, but I think this concludes episode 43 of the Pretty Princess Command Center, which is perfect timing because my battery's literally about to die. So on that note, I hope you have a Pretty Princess day.